His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, on the 22nd of December 2022, announced on his Facebook page the Good for Oil policy. It says, and I quote, "I am happy to announce that the government of Ghana has concluded the arrangement for the operationalization of the Good for Oil policy. Subsequently, the first oil product under the policy will be delivered in January 2023. The Lands and Natural Resources, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, the Chamber of Mines and Precious Minerals Marketing Companies, the National Petroleum Authority and BOST for their leadership in the operationalization on government's Gold for Oil policy. God bless our homeland Ghana." It says, unquote. This has generated a lot of controversies both on local and social media. On this edition of the Business News segment, we're assessing all the conversations that has gone on so far. The National Petroleum Authority has revealed that initial 40,000 tons of diesel that arrived in January under the Gold for Oil policy were valued at 40 million United States dollars. The clarification by the NPA comes after several calls by industry experts, including the Institute for Energy Security, for the government to provide details on how much it spent on its initial consignment. In a statement, the NPA added that it will put measures in place to ensure that oil marketing companies that lift product supply under the program pass the price on to consumers accordingly. The National Petroleum Authority again predicted that prices of fuel at the pumps will significantly decrease from March due to the Gold for Oil scheme introduced by government. The Gold for Oil policy is expected to change Ghana's balance of payment position fundamentally and significantly reduce persistent depreciation of the cedi. Here is Head of Communications at the National Petroleum Authority, Abdul Kudus Mohammed. He said, already, the program is having a positive impact on prices at the pumps.
I must say that the statement primarily was supposed to help in the discussion around the whole program. It appeared that many did not have the facts, but were contributing to the discussion. And a lot of the time we're asking questions than speaking with a certain emphasis that would give clarity and education to the listening public. And so this is supposed to help shape the discussion. So your question, probably this statement helps to a larger extent in the sense that you've asked why haven't we seen a reduction in the price of petrol and diesel at the pump. First of all, the first consignment in the market has to do with only diesel, not petrol inclusive. And so if we are going to see any reduction, it would have been on diesel, not petrol. The reason for the consignment being mainly diesel is because the participant in the program as we speak, which is BOST, has only received its first consignment to be diesel. There is a plan ahead to really get the second consignment that would include this petrol. And if the question is asked as to whether we've seen a reduction after receiving the first consignment, I'll say yes. And I'll use two OMCs to illustrate. Before the beginning of the window that we are in currently, Star Oil actually posted on their website suggesting that but for the consignment of G4O that they have received, prices of diesel at their pump would have gone up. And so it tells us that there is an effect from the program at the pump. The second illustration has to do with oil. Well, at the beginning of the window, posted 15.9 as the price for their diesel. At 15.9 cedis per liter. As we speak, they've revised it downwards from 10.9 to 10.25 because of their receipts of the share of the product under the gold for oil. So it is true that it has reduced prices. We're hoping that the supply of the consignment under the program would gradually increase as we go ahead.
The precious minerals marketing companies is optimistic that the government would help sensitize and build confidence of Ghanaians in gold trading. The managing director of PMMC, Nana Kwesi Ewa, said gold smuggling could be one of the threats newly introduced policy.
So I think that if you look at the future of what we have started now, gradually we are getting to a point where we'll be able to fully sanitize the downstream sector of the precious minerals industry, particularly when it comes to gold trading. And by so doing, we will be able to encourage more people, particularly the Ghanaian populace, to venture into investing in that commodity that is gold. I know that in times past, there have been some issues concerning some other private entities that have attempted to use gold to trade in this country. The Popular Men's Gold is a reminder of that. And so Ghanaians are quite skeptical about investing in gold. But we believe that once we are able to sanitize the sector and we are able to build confidence and trust, we should be able to encourage more Ghanaians to come forth and then invest in that commodity.
Speaking on the Public Accounts Committee sitting, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Maxwell Opoku-Afari, said the details of the transactions will be presented before the committee in due course.
Honorable Chair, I do not have the full details of that leg of the transaction with me at the moment. What I know is that the Gold for Oil program has two legs. It has the gold purchase program leg and then the oil leg. The Bank of Ghana is fully involved on the gold purchase side, which then translates into oil. So I may have to go back and check how the oil side was transacted. But what we know is that we have fully paid and bought gold that is enough to support the oil transaction. I'll beg of the committee so that I can supply that data later on because I do not have that with me now.
Industry players such as the Institute for Energy Security, COPEC, have called on the government to disclose the quantity of gold in exchange for its first consignment of 40,000 metric tons of fuel, as they raised questions over the availability of the deal. We know that conversations on this particular subject matter will linger on for a while as industry players, stakeholders, and the entire Ghanaian population are asking for details of this particular policy. Reporting for Adwa Business News in Accra, my name is Na Anyema Collison.